Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I had been meaning to record this tutorial for a while. I had teased you guys on social media and I think even my community tab about this hair color, and then, well, Christmas happened. So this is a more advanced hair tutorial. As you can see, we've got a bunch of different colors running through here. The lighting is never the greatest. When I get my art studio done, I'll be revamping like all my recording equipment and lighting, but until then we are stuck with my natural lights. So I had requests to do some highlighted hair, and I got this inspiration kind of from my own hair. I had just recently gotten it done. Mine is a little darker than this, but I kind of used that as, you know, the jumping off point. So we have a nice like light brown color moving through here, and then as you can see we have golden highlights because, you know, when you naturally lighten brown hair, it turns to like a golden yellow. And so what I have them doing is, of course, wrapping through all the curls. So it's a lot more complicated of a hairstyle to do, and that's why I wanted to show it on camera. Now, the hardest thing for anyone doing this one is a lot of the grayscale you will be ignoring. You'll also be adding highlights in, you know, random places, but you need to follow through. So for example, this highlight here starts up here, it's moving down, it stopped here, but it'll actually carry through here because this is all highlighted hair. Now it looks like it curves in here. Will I have it curve in there? I don't know, because I could just pretend that's another cut, you know, like curl. But that's the most important thing. You have to track. So you'll see I started a highlight here midway through, not at the top, midway, coming down, curling through here. And so you have to kind of follow the puzzle. So if you were new to this, I would suggest doing this more on a straight hairstyle. However, I find the curly actually more forgiving, you know, and then it also prevents you from accidentally just creating streaks. So we are using Black Widows for this. Now, you will need all of the sets of Black Widow pencils to do this tutorial. You can, however, go through your sets and find, you know, alternate colors, but I am using all of the sets because, well, if I'm going to buy them, I'm going to use them, right? So you will need Black Widow from the original Black Widow series, BW01, and the color is also Black Widow. Black Widow. Choctone, which is from Skin Tone Dark set, and that's SD023. These will also be in the description. Then you will need Negra from Skin Tone Dark as well, SD010. Now from the new Dragon set, you will need Brown Brick DG139. And then you will need from the Scorpion set, Dark Tan SC18. And that just covers the brown. Now for the golden highlights, you are going to need Stink Bug from the original Black Widows. That is BW01. Sorry, very tired today. Now from the Cobra set, you will need CB24, also known as Mustard. And then from Scorpion as well, oops, I got shavings going everywhere. You'll need Pastel Lemon SC74. Last, but certainly not least, they're just everywhere. From the Monarch set, you will need Aztec Gold MN079. So now that I think of it, I think the only set I didn't tap into was Skin Tone Light. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to show you the brown first. I have already started this highlight here, these two highlight sections, and right in here is going to be a brown that also transitions down to here. So let me show you the brown combo. Now, for the brown combo, we are going to have a base coat of dark tan. Now please pause, you know, as you grab your pencil, We're using a very light coat here, so I'm holding it like way back because I'm naturally heavy-handed. But a very light coat, and this is because Black Widows need something to grip on too. They do a lot better with a base coat. Okay. Now, I go dark to light outside of that. So we're going to grab Black Widow BW01. I keep wanting to say BD. Now this is a black color. So I'm going to go into these crevices where the most shadow is. And as always, you need to apply pressure and then release pressure, whoops, as you lift up. Don't think about it. Overthinking is like the enemy of hair. Like, just flick and relax. And I've had a lot of you message me that it's too stressful. Really, you just gotta not think about it, and that's the most important thing. Okay, grab your Choctone SD023. Now, I'm overlapping the black here at the bottom, but then I'm bringing it out a little further. This is a technique, if you've watched enough of my hair tutorials, you've seen this technique. Similar. Now, you'll notice this has way more colors than most of my tutorials. And like I said, this one is a little more advanced. We're going to be mingling colors amongst one another and creating a lot of balance. So if you're new to hair, you can definitely do this one. It's just, you know, take your time. Okay, now we're going to grab Negra SD010. Now I'm not coming in from the bottom. I'm coming about midway from our other colors. Again, lightly flicking, always turning my pencil. Like, eventually it'll just be muscle memory. You'll start turning your pencil and not even notice that you've been rotating your pencils. The other day I was coloring something not hair related, and I noticed I was just turning my pencil. Okay, brown brick DG139. Same thing, we're kind of going midway through. This is nice rich brown color. And we're just kind of bringing that closer to the center to close the gap. I'm darkening it right here because I want it to show that that curl is popping out. Same thing here. Just keep turning your pencil, bringing it closer to the center because you're not going to have a huge highlight right here. This isn't going to have a lot of exposure. See, it's similar to this area. So you don't want it to have a super big highlight or anything to that effect. Now I'm going a little bit over all my colors. These layer up really nicely for hair. All right, now we're going back to dark tan, SC18, and all we're doing is lightly going through the middle of the hair, okay? All right, now let's tackle a highlighted section. So see in here, I would make this right here a dark brown. This here, I would actually make a highlight. So let's do another dark brown here just to kind of give you the gist. So again, dark tan for the base, because these Black Widows do need to grip on. Just get that in there. Okay. Grab your Black Widow from Black Widows. Again, just this one's going to be darker because see how much shadow we've got, this and this curling over it. So this one we want to be a little heavier with the darker colors. In fact, I'm going to even outline with my Black Widow quite a bit of this. You'll see in some sections, see where it's a lot darker. You got to just keep in mind how much light is hitting that curl of hair. And that's why I said if you're really new to hair, it'll be easier with straight than having to worry about all the different light sources. Okay, Choctone. Again, coming from the base, pulling it out further. And in this case, we're going to pull it out even further because I want this to be fairly dark in here. Now, I know a lot of you say, you know, this hurts your hands. You don't need a lot of pressure. In fact, less is more. I honestly just sit here and very lightly flick, because with the right pencil, you can continually add more and more layers. Pro Color, for example, you could sit here and lightly layer for days and still see all those flicks. All right, grab Negra. Again, I'm not coming right off there. I'm coming just a little bit off of the black, but bringing it closer to the center because I want this one darker. So yeah, keep that in mind. I know the motion itself can really cramp hands, but you know, I type, I do have carpal tunnel, and honestly, I don't get a lot of pain doing this, but it's because I am very light with the flicking motion. I am not using heavy pressure at all. I'm letting the pencil do the work and just very lightly flicking. And that's the key to really, like, my style of hair, I should say, because a lot of people do other hair that's absolutely gorgeous, but that's just my style, and it's really easy on the hands. Brown brick. So again, we're bringing this one closer to the center. Just remember to turn that pencil. In fact, I missed a little spot over here, so we're just going to cover that up. Okay. And then last but not least, my dark tan again. Will you always use all your colors? No. This section in here, I skipped a few. You know, you kind of just have to learn to eyeball it, and that's not something I can just teach you. Maybe if I was doing the entire set of hair, but if I did this whole thing, especially with these different color tones in a full-length tutorial, we would be looking at 6 to 8 hours of hair time. So, all right. Now let's grab a nice chunk for this lovely golden highlight. So I'm going to grab this one here. So my base coat for the highlight is Pastel Lemon SC18. Again, hold your pencil back if you have trouble, you know, with the light layers. Just giving it a nice little base coat. Now here's where it becomes complicated. You really need to think about your highlight. How much light is this getting? Way down here, this highlight is not going to be super golden-y because look how dark it is. So I will show you what I do. Now my darkest color I start with is actually the dark tan, which is the base color of our brown. So you'll end up sharpening this one quite a bit. So I am going to first define a line between this curl and that, okay? And now I'm just very lightly going to pull this through. I'm going to pull it down here, but I have a feeling I'm going to bring in one of my other browns because this is going to be a slightly darker highlight. And then I'm going to capture this edge right here, and the reason for that is I want to make sure you can see it coming off of that darker area. Okay, now grab your stink bug, and again I will put the names and numbers below. I will put some links to the sets. They will be affiliate links. They're no cost to you guys, it just helps support my channel if you do use those links. Okay, I'm just kind of slowly bringing that in. Now we're going to grab our mustard, and again on these ones I'm kind of just, I don't know, I'm rather blasé, just wee flick away. Now one color is Aztec Gold. This one is kind of a floater. I don't always use it. You can tell on the hair pieces I have, so you'll see that like orangey effect. I can spot it a mile away, and this is added simply because there are some instances where the brown and the golden highlight meet and they just need that extra oomph. And this would be a perfect example of where I would want to add that extra oomph, whereas this one I want just purely golden. Make sense? Same with this one here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the Aztec, just kind of add it in where I feel I need a little bit more orange. I'm not putting it all over. Okay. Now I feel this needs a tiny bit of brown, so I'm going to grab my brown brick, and this is again something we've got to just learn to eyeball. I'm grabbing it and just adding it into some of these slightly darker areas, especially down here where I feel it would not be as bright. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my base color, Pastel Lemon, oops, and break the tip, and then just kind of gently come across the center. I am not filling it in, I am gently doing a line here or there because I want the lighter shade of Pastel Lemon to show through. So that is this hair color. Like I said, it is an advanced one. You have to be able to look at the hair and say, okay, highlight, more golden, less golden, you know, and then you'll also notice I've taken certain chunks. So this piece of hair here was all a single chunk, and I grabbed this small section and made that a highlight, even though this clump was all one clump of hair, and we work in clumps when we're doing hair. Same thing here, from here to here. It's probably easier if I just point. So from here to here was a single clump, but I took this clump out and added the highlight. So you have to kind of spot those instances. So for example, right here, this is a clump, so it goes from here and here. What I would do is pull this section here, make it a highlight, the rest brown. Same thing up here. You don't see any natural separation, and you don't want to separate by clumps. You'll notice each of my highlights are fairly narrow. I don't have massive chunks. I do when I get down here, but up here it would look just silly if I took each clump of hair and alternated. So say I'm breaking up these two here. What I look for is some natural highlight left by the artist. So I would take this one and make it brown all the way through here, but then you see this white section coming through, I would add my highlight. Same with right here. I would add my highlight right there, but brown in between. Down here, you've got a bunch of dark spaces, and you're thinking, well, that should all be brown. No, I would actually take this one here, see how it's nice and light? I would create a nice little highlight in there. I would also create a highlight here, and then this piece here would most likely stay as a highlight. However, as it breaks off down here, I would stick to brown. And then with these curls, kind of similar to how I did over here, this would come out as, let's see, because I would have some highlights in here. This would actually probably come out as a brown, but what I would do is as it curls around, transition and have like a few blonde streaks in there. Same thing down here. This would be brown, this chunk would be brown. This small little section here, I would have some blonde to it. This small section, I would add a little blonde. And then this one here too, I would have a little blonde. This one here, I would definitely do blonde, but I would make sure to extra, you know, add some darkening effects there. So you see what I mean? It is pretty complicated. It can most definitely be an overwhelming hair. I mean, we are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pencils. I actually started with 12 and I cut it down. But this is one where you have to already understand hair, think about hair and how it would look, and then add in those effects. So that's why I say it's more advanced, because I can teach you as much as I can, but eventually you have to be able to look at the page. Oh, sorry for the shadow. You have to look at the page and say, okay, there's my highlight. There's my highlight. There's my dark area. So you know what I mean? Like it will require an eye. And so if you're brand new to hair, definitely try following, but I suggest going back through some of my older hair series and getting the basics down before diving into this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will be doing more tutorials. Now, January, I do have a hashtag called Purple Hair Don't Care, January 2022. That is just simply because, well, I love coloring purple hair and I needed an excuse to do so. So I will be doing a lot more purple hair this month, not in tutorials. You know, a lot of it will just be me, myself, and I hanging out, but I might try to squeeze out one or two. These are pretty hard to do tutorial wise, but my biggest thing is I want to give you the combo and the technique, but I want you to apply it to any picture. You don't need to go buy this one. This is Mariola Budek's, it's one of her hair series books. So yeah, it's one of those. But you don't have to go buy the exact same image. Find a curly hair or a straight hair and just apply the technique and combo. That's the goal with all my hair series. I don't want you to copy me word, you know, page by page. I want you to be able to take what you learned and apply it on anything. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other hair series videos. I have quite a few in there now. A lot of basic ones, a lot of fun colors. I think I've got, in Black Widows, I think I only have one other. No, I have two. I have a nice, pretty red color, and I have a pink. So those are in there right now. And I'm just working through my hair series requests. It takes a long time. But I hope you guys are enjoying the hair series. And until next time, take care. Bye now.